We're going to Hawaii without you." I couldn't immediately comprehend what Ken was saying. It'll just be the family spending time together. My mind came to a complete halt. I told you before, didn't I? You should stay home. It's the best option. Wait a minute, why is this happening? It's fine, we're taking Sean with us, so you can relax at home. What are you even saying? This makes no sense. At that moment, Heather, my mother-in-law, approached me. We need to leave soon or we'll be late. Take care of the cleaning, okay? For Ken and his family, I wasn't considered part of the family. Sean refused to leave my side, which was my only solace. At that moment, I felt utterly hopeless. However, a week later, I received 213 missed calls. My name is Laura Hunter. My husband Ken works at an advertising company and our son, Sean, attends daycare. I work at the same company as Ken after returning from maternity leave. I met Ken at a workplace welcome party. Although we were assigned to different departments, we grew close after going out to eat multiple times. Our 4-year-old son still requires a lot of attention. Balancing work and household duties is incredibly challenging. To make matters worse, we've been living with Ken's parents since last year. Initially, we lived separately, but Heather's injury brought about this arrangement. Although my father-in-law Peter is healthy, he can't handle household chores. Ken and I had initially alternated visits to his parents' home, which is about a 10-minute drive away. However, Ken suggested that his parents move in with us. After Heather's hospital discharge, we ended up taking care of her in our home. I couldn't oppose the decision. I thought it would only be for a short while, but I was wrong. It didn't take long for me to realize my mistake. Even after her injury healed, Heather showed no intention of leaving. Peter, enjoying the newer house, expressed his wish to continue living with us. Without any discussion, they moved in permanently. Ken didn't oppose it, and he didn't consider my opinion at all. Why didn't you consult with me? What's the problem? You didn't complain when she was injured. That's because I thought it was temporary. I never agreed to live together long term. Come on, Laura. You get along with them, don't you? If it doesn't work out, we can figure something out later. To be fair, I did have a good relationship with my in-laws at the time. Heather and I would shop together and Peter and I would share drinks occasionally. Ken hates shopping and doesn't drink, so I enjoyed bonding with his father over alcohol. But that was only because it happened infrequently. Living together slowly revealed their annoying habits. At first, Heather apologized frequently for inconveniencing us. I'm so sorry for making you do so much. I'll do whatever I can myself. She seemed considerate, often saying she would handle things on her own. But after about a week, her attitude completely changed. Laura, I'd like udon for lunch today. Oh, I'm sorry. I was planning to make pasta instead. What? There's no udon? We ran out, but I've told you to keep some in stock at all times. Go buy it now. Gradually, her demands became more unreasonable. Peter started criticizing my cooking. Laura, the food is a bit salty. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be more careful next time. You said that last time. Consider our age when cooking. Yes, of course, I'll adjust. Their complaints became a daily occurrence. Initially, I genuinely wanted to support Heather after her injury. I handled everything around the house knowing it was my responsibility, but despite her promises to help with small tasks, she didn't lift a finger. Peter didn't help either and started claiming he wasn't feeling well. Ken, who initially assisted his parents, quickly stopped after a few days. Even though he came home early and didn't attend drinking parties, he claimed he was too tired to help. On weekends, he would leave the house by himself. Looking back, he started avoiding home around the time his mother got injured. Between taking care of my son, my in-laws, and the house, I was constantly exhausted. The only benefit of having my in-laws around was that they kept my son company. They adored him, and he grew attached to them. They willingly handled his bedtime and daycare drop-offs and pickups. Still, living with them felt suffocating. My home no longer felt like my own, and I couldn't relax. One day, as I returned home from work, Heather approached me immediately. Laura, when do you finish work for the year-end holidays? Year-end holidays? Let me check. I took out my planner and flipped through it. It looks like I finish on December 27th. And when do you start work again? January 6th. Is there something planned? She seemed flustered by my question. Oh, no, nothing. Don't worry about it. Without meeting my eyes, she quickly retreated to her room. I was puzzled as I prepared dinner. Why would she suddenly ask about my work schedule? Maybe they're planning a trip somewhere. I couldn't shake the thought, but she never brought it up again. Still curious, I decided to ask Ken later. Hey Ken, your mom asked me about my year-end holiday schedule today. Do you know if she's planning something? No idea. She hasn't mentioned anything to me. Huh, that's strange. Maybe it's nothing. Ken chuckled as he responded. Maybe she was just curious. Don't overthink it. I don't know. Asking in July seems pretty early. Maybe they're booking something in advance. Huh, that's true. But with her leg still acting up, I doubt she'd go anywhere. You're right. She doesn't seem ready for travel yet. We both agreed that staying home would likely be the plan for the holidays. Still, I couldn't help but feel a longing for a family trip. Just the three of us. The months passed quickly, and before I realized it, December had arrived. Hey, did you hear? Hear what? Hawaii. Hawaii? What about it? We're going to Hawaii for the New Year holidays. I blinked, confused. Who's going to Hawaii? Us, the family. Wait, seriously? Yeah. He seemed excited, but I was still trying to process what he was saying. Before I could respond, Heather walked into the living room. I'm glad I managed to book the hotel. I wasn't sure it would work out, but it did. Yeah, thanks, Mom. I'm really looking forward to it. My confusion deepened. Wait, you're saying your mom planned this? Yeah, she booked the trip for us as a surprise. I wasn't sure we'd get a room at such a popular hotel, but I got lucky with a reservation. Oh, I see. That's a surprise. It finally clicked why she'd asked about my work schedule all those months ago. She had been planning this trip all along. I forced a smile, though mixed emotions stirred within me. Thank you, Mom. That's really thoughtful. Oh, it's nothing. You've been doing so much for us. It's the least I could do. I wanted to ask if her leg was okay for such a trip, but before I could, she spoke again. Don't worry about me. I'll take it easy and avoid any strenuous sightseeing. That's probably for the best. I'm sure it'll still be enjoyable. Despite my initial hesitation, I began to feel a little excited about the trip. It would be our first vacation together as a family. I decided to focus on the positive. Maybe this trip could be a chance to relax and recharge. In the following weeks, I threw myself into the preparations. Ken, what do you think of this restaurant? It's close to the hotel and I think Mom could walk there. Yeah, that looks good. Let's keep it on the list. I researched places to eat and visit, ensuring Heather wouldn't overexert herself. I even started picking up small gifts for souvenirs and planning outfits for the trip. Hey, what kind of souvenir should I bring back to you, Mary? Something sweet, maybe. But wow, Laura, you're really excited about this trip, huh? Well, it's my first time going to Hawaii. Can you blame me? Just don't let the excitement make you mess up at work. Jeez, I won't. Even on busy work days, the thought of the trip kept me going. Knowing I had something fun to look forward to made the stress and exhaustion feel more manageable. Finally, the day of our departure arrived. I woke up early to the sound of faint voices downstairs. What's going on? I got up, expecting to see everyone still getting ready. Instead, I found Ken and my in-laws by the door with their luggage. Wait, are you guys leaving already? I thought we were leaving at 9. Yeah, well, the plans changed a bit. Changed? How? Laura, Hawaii is just going to be the 4 of us. My mind froze, unable to comprehend his words. What are you saying? You've been so stressed lately and you said you wanted to rest. We thought it'd be better if you stayed home and relaxed. What? That doesn't make any sense. Heather stepped forward, giving me an awkward smile. We should leave now, or we'll miss our flight. Take care of the house while we're gone, okay? They turned to leave, but I grabbed Ken's arm. You're seriously leaving me behind? How could you do this? Before Ken could respond, my son, Sean, tugged on his father's hand. Daddy, where's Mommy? Why isn't she coming with us? Mommy's going to stay home and rest. She's tired. No, if Mommy's not going, I'm not going either. Sean, don't be difficult. Let's go. No, I want to stay with Mommy. His defiance surprised everyone. Normally, Sean was quiet and obedient, but now he clung to me with all his might. Ken's frustration grew, and he tried to pull Sean away. Stop being so stubborn. Come on. Stop it, Ken. You're scaring him. I held Sean tightly as tears streamed down his face. I'm staying with Mommy. I don't care about Hawaii if she's not coming. In the end, Ken and my in-laws left without us. As I watched them go, anger and sadness filled my heart. Sean hugged me tightly, and I knew I wasn't alone in my pain. The house felt eerily quiet after they left. I sat on the couch holding Sean close as he sniffled, his small body trembling against mine. They planned this all along, didn't they? That's why they were acting so secretive. I wiped away my tears, trying to gather my thoughts. Sean, are you hungry? Let's go out for dinner tonight. How does that sound? Really? Just the two of us? Yeah, just the two of us. Sean nodded, his teary eyes brightening slightly. Despite my heartache, I knew I had to stay strong for him. After dinner, I tucked Sean into bed and returned to the living room. My phone buzzed on the coffee table, but I ignored it. When I finally picked it up, I saw dozens of missed calls and messages from Ken. Why aren't you answering? Where's Sean? Why aren't you at home? I stared at the screen, my anger simmering. Why should I answer you after what you did? I threw my phone onto the couch and I let out a frustrated sigh. Suddenly, I remembered someone who might understand my frustration. I opened my messaging app and typed a quick message to Mary. Mary, can I call you? I need to talk. Within seconds, my phone rang. Mary, I don't know what to do. They left me behind. They just left. Are you serious? Ugh, those jerks. Where are you now? I'm at home with Sean. He refused to go without me. Good for him. Laura, you deserve better than this. I feel so betrayed. I don't even know how to process it. And don't process it alone. Pack your bags and come over to my place. What? Are you sure? Of course. Bring Sean. You don't need to stay there by yourself. Relief washed over me, and I couldn't stop the tears. Thank you, Mary. I'll be there soon. Within an hour, Sean and I arrived at Mary's apartment. I brought along the luggage I had packed for the trip, so leaving was quick and easy. Welcome, Sean. You can call me Aunt Mary. I've got some snacks and a cozy spot ready for you. Thank you, Aunt Mary. Sean immediately took to Mary, his little hands grabbing the snacks she offered. While he settled into the living room with his favorite DVDs, Mary and I moved to the kitchen. I still can't believe they planned to leave me behind. It's outrageous, Laura. Honestly, it sounds like they were looking for an excuse to exclude you. And they almost succeeded. If it weren't for Sean insisting on staying with me. He's such a good kid. Honestly, Laura, you deserve so much better than Ken and his toxic family. I've thought that for a long time, but this is the final straw. Then let's do something about it. You don't have to stay trapped in this situation. Mary's words sparked an idea, one I hadn't dared to consider until now. Mary, do you think it's time I leave him? For good? Oh, absolutely. He's shown his true colors, and honestly, you're already doing everything on your own. You don't need him dragging you down. But what about Sean? He deserves a stable family. A stable family doesn't mean putting up with disrespect and neglect. You'll be happier, and so will Sean. Mary's words resonated with me. Deep down, I knew she was right. Laura, listen. I've got an idea. Let's dig into those rumors we've heard about Ken at work. If he's up to something shady, it'll give you the upper hand. You mean use his own actions against him? Exactly. Trust me, Laura. You have every right to protect yourself and Sean. Okay, let's do it. If there's any truth to those rumors, I need to know. Leave it to me. I'll start digging. I've got a few trusted coworkers who'll help us out. Over the next few days, Mary worked tirelessly, reaching out to her connections at our workplace. Meanwhile, Sean and I spent the days at Mary's place, her warmth and kindness making it feel like a sanctuary. On the third day, Mary called me into the kitchen, her face serious. Laura, you're not going to believe this. What is it? Ken's been seeing someone from the office. A woman from the accounting department. Are you serious? Dead serious. And I have proof. One of my coworkers saw them together multiple times and even snapped a few pictures. Mary showed me the photos on her phone. Ken was clearly holding hands with a woman I recognized from the office. That's the final nail in the coffin. Exactly. With this, you can confront him head on. I stared at the pictures, a mix of anger and relief washing over me. Thank you, Mary. I don't know what I'd do without you. You'd do just fine, Laura. You're stronger than you think. Armed with the evidence, I decided it was time to take action. After a week of radio silence, Ken and his parents returned from their trip. I had already moved my belongings and Sean's essentials to my parents' house. On the dining table, I left the signed divorce papers along with a note, "We're done." The following morning, the doorbell at my parents' house rang. My father peered through the window and returned to me with a grim expression. It's Ken. He's here. I figured he'd show up eventually. I'll handle it. I took a deep breath and walked to the door. Ken stood there looking disheveled and desperate. Laura, what the hell is going on? Why aren't you answering my calls? Where's Sean? Sean is safe, and I've made my decision. We're done, Ken. Done? You can't just decide that on your own. We need to talk this through. There's nothing to talk about. You left me behind, Ken. You made your priorities clear. And don't think I don't know about your affair. What? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. I held up my phone, showing him the photos Mary had gathered. Care to explain this? That's not what it looks like. She's just a coworker. Oh, stop lying. I'm done being the fool. You can keep your excuses to yourself. My parents stepped into the hallway, their presence a silent show of support. Ken, it's time you leave. You've caused enough damage. Laura, please, let's work this out, for Sean's sake. No, Ken, for Sean's sake, I'm ending this toxic cycle. Defeated, Ken slumped his shoulders and left, his steps heavy with regret. After Ken left, the house fell silent. I stood at the door for a moment, feeling a mix of relief and sadness. You did the right thing, Laura. It's time to move forward. I know, but it's still hard. I never imagined it would come to this. My father patted my shoulder, his comforting presence a reminder that I wasn't alone. We'll support you every step of the way. You and Sean are family, and that's all that matters. Sean returned from his playdate later that afternoon, his innocent smile a beacon of hope. Mommy, can we play together now? Of course, sweetheart. Let's build something amazing with your blocks. That evening, I tucked Sean into bed, his tiny hands holding mine tightly. Mommy, will Daddy come back? No, sweetheart, but we're going to be okay, just you and me. Sean nodded, his eyes heavy with sleep. I kissed his forehead and promised myself I would give him the best life possible. The next morning, I submitted the divorce papers to the city office. The clerk's neutral expression as they stamped the document felt surreal. It was official. I was no longer tied to Ken. Over the following weeks, I focused on creating a new routine for Sean and me. We moved into a small but cozy apartment close to my workplace and Sean's preschool. Decorating our new home became a therapeutic process. Sean picked out bright, cheerful decorations for his room, and I found solace in making our space uniquely ours. Mommy, look! I drew a picture of our new home. Oh, it's beautiful, Sean. Let's put it on the fridge. As the days passed, I started to feel lighter. Work kept me busy, and Sean's laughter filled our home with warmth. Mary visited often, her friendship a constant reminder of the strength I had gained. Look at you, Laura. You're thriving. I'm so proud of you. I couldn't have done it without you, Mary. Thank you for everything. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful.